Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the month of August 2025. I have to apologize about my voice again. I'm super nasally. I've been all week, so apologies. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies or the influences of the week. Maybe I should say, and the influences of the week. Same 3 decks that I've used in previous readings. You guys are familiar with them. Please put the comments down below. I love hearing feedback. I love hearing your thoughts. Love how you guys tell me how things resonate. It's always a bonus when I can hear, I deliver these messages, but I'm never really sure how they apply. So I love to hear that stuff. And I have to remember to keep saying this. I would watch this video at the beginning of the month. I would watch it maybe in the middle of the month as well, and then again towards the end of the month, so maybe you can have like a clearer picture and really be able to like connect the dots that way. Sometimes when we hear something like, beforehand, it might not necessarily resonate until maybe after the fact that it has already happened, or, may click then. So, all right, guys, I think that's enough. Let me go ahead and begin. All right, what do we need here? Spring, see your seeds grow. Yes, we need to start seeing our seeds grow. Okay, so it's very interesting that usually this is a really great card because basically it says, okay, you planted seeds, now it's time for them to grow, right? That's what we do in the spring, and then we kind of, see the fruits of our labor basically in summer. But it's basically saying that we need to do that. So we need to plant the seeds. So basically this is saying if you want to get something accomplished, you need to plant the seed. Like if you want a flower or a garden, you need to start planting the seeds now, right? So we're in that spring period, right? When we're technically in the summer season, right? But this is, this is symbolic. This is energetic. So yeah, it's basically saying like if you want, if there's something that you want that maybe you can't have right now, or that takes time, that takes effort, that takes patience, it's important that you start putting down the seeds or preparing for it now. And you definitely need to be doing that, right? Because it's under need. So I love that. So this to me signifies like we're able to kind of plan ahead. So I love that the first card right out off the bat is kind of saying like, yeah, you can start planning ahead. You can start, really working on goals, especially if you haven't been able to like work on goals before in the past, or you felt like obstacles were in your way, or you're in survival mode, or whatever it actually is. So I love that. So yeah, there's not too much more I can say here, but let's keep pulling the cards. Maybe we can get a clarifier on that, or maybe we can get more energy that's related to that. Okay, we have action needed soulmates. Okay, so this is about close relationships that feel soul-centered, they feel soul-connected, they feel very, and that tends to be like more harmonious. It tends to feel like it's more, I always hesitate to say like easier, but it's not, it doesn't mean a relationship is going to be easy. It just means that things flow a little bit more within that said relationship. Things seem to be a little bit more healthy, like that kind of thing. So basically it's saying like, pay attention to these kinds of relationships in your life, but also like create that in your life, right? Like kind of, if you have somebody in your life that you're like butting heads with, it's kind of saying like, maybe you need to find more flow, maybe find like a common ground with that said person that maybe you bump heads with all the time. So this is really about making things a little bit more harmonious, even in difficult relationships, even in relationships that maybe we don't necessarily define as like more simple or easy or connected, right? So it's basically saying that we need to take action and kind of make sure our relationships are a little bit more harmonious this month. And so it's saying it's under action needed. So basically it's saying like, we need to actually put the work in for this. Okay. So yeah, I take a deep breath because relationships are really hard, right? And by the way, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be any kind of relationship. This could be platonic as well. So think of like someone where you maybe have like a difficult relationship with, and kind of, maybe this month is a little bit more focused on taking the action needed to make it a little bit more harmonious and smooth in a way. And if you don't really have a lot of difficult relationships, which is great, then definitely pay more attention to the maybe you consider your significant other a soulmate, so maybe pay attention more to that relationship. So that kind of thing. So yeah, basically it's saying we need more harmonious, we need more flow within our relationships, and we need to actually make that happen, like put in the work to make it happen. All right, what do we have issues with? Upside down, engineer, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. Okay, so this is, when engineer is reversed, this is about logistics. This is about solution-oriented, not necessarily worrying about like the emotional part of things. So yeah, so our issue is focusing on the logistics, right? And so that might actually mean that we're having, like, maybe we are a little bit more on the emotional side of things, which is not a bad thing. Remember, the light and the shadow are not, good and bad. It's just, we might be just focusing on one area, not necessarily the other, right? And so basically it's saying that we might be like a little bit more emotional focused, which makes sense coming off of the soulmates card, right? About relationships, relational focused, when we should be a little bit more focused on the routines or the logistics of something or the anatomy of something or the engineering of something, basically. So can I give an example on the fly here? What's an example? What's a good example? What about if you are, I think I gave this example maybe last time, but it's reversed because I think it was in the light last time. If you're moving, right, there's like two components to moving, right? There's all the logistics. There's when you're going to hire the movers, when you're actually packing, how much it's going to cost, like all of those things are considered like logistics, right? And the other things are, you're going to be leaving the house that you grew up in or were in for the last 10 years. You're going to be leaving all of your family and friends. You're going to be moving to a town that you don't know anybody. So that's like the emotional component of the moving, right? So basically this is saying Spirit is asking us to focus on the former, which is, don't forget the logistics, right? And you might be too into the latter, which is, the emotional part of things. Not that it's wrong, because neither of them are wrong. It's just like you need both, right? And so, we just, because I will say this, I think it's coming up because when we mess with the logistics, there is more of a chance that something might, quote unquote, go wrong, right? Like if we didn't double check what time the movers were coming, there might come like a misunderstanding that you thought they were coming at 9, but they're really coming at 10 or something like that. So solidifying plans, checking your appointment book twice, like that kind of thing is going to be really good this month to do that. But it feels like we're kind of resisting that for whatever reason. Could, this is a reading for the collective, so could be many different reasons. But yeah, focus on the details is something that this is trying to really convey. All right, what's challenging? Guardian angel, you're not alone. Okay, so we're feeling, this is basically saying that you're not alone. You have a lot of spirit team, you have people around you, but it's challenging to accept that, it feels like. It feels like there are people that are there for you for sure, but it definitely feels like you almost, I don't mean to like tell people how to feel, but but it definitely, I'm clairsentient, okay? So this is what's coming through. We might feel like we don't have anybody to talk to, we don't have anybody to lean on, we don't have anybody to depend on, we don't have anybody to support us. So it definitely feels challenging. Like I definitely, guys, in the last couple of readings, maybe the last consecutive ones, but maybe a few back, not too far back, we've been getting like a lot of messages around like feeling depressed, feeling lonely. I don't necessarily feel that quite major, but it's in the same wheelhouse, where it just feels like we don't have a lot of support. We're trying, we're there for other people, but maybe they're not there for us. Okay, so definitely you're wrestling with this. Okay, so this is going to come up a lot this month, it looks like, but the truth is you are not really, you're really not alone. You've got your spirit team, you've got your source energy, whatever it is, higher power and higher self. But it definitely does feel like, we just feel like we're alone, nobody gets us, or, we having a hard, maybe you're having a hard time feeling understood or whatever it actually is. So I feel that energy coming through, and it's going to be a challenge this month. I'm not going to lie, guys. But you guys can do it. I know you can. Change. Okay. What's actually changing? Mending. Okay, changing. Mending of a relationship, repairing a relationship, repairing relationships. So I love that. So first of all, soulmates, mending. So far, we're focusing more on the relational parts of things in the issue there section up there. So it definitely does feel like, and maybe it's fueled by this, this feeling of not having enough support, that you're maybe mending old relationships, mending broken relationships. Could be apologizing, could be taking accountability, or it could be from the outside in, meaning, more external, like somebody actually doing it to you, right? Somebody coming, like you might have people coming back into your life to take accountability or something like that. So something is changing, but your relationships in general are changing. I definitely do feel that. Like I said, from the soulmates card to here, to this mending card, it definitely does feel like things are being repaired relational wise. And and I feel like it's a positive thing, okay? Use your own intuition when it comes to it. If somebody was really toxic in your life, you don't feel like bringing them back, that's totally fine. You have free will. And like I said, use your intuition. But that's what's coming through. And like I said, I feel like it's more of a positive thing. All right, focus. We have thief in the light, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Okay, so this is about things that can't be taken from you. This is about your resources. This is about being your unique self. This is about being like unique. So it says focus on the things that make you unique. Focus on the things that can't be taken from you. Focus on the things that less on the material things. Like focus on you, basically. There's not too much more I can say here, but since focus is technically like priority, make yourself a priority. Make your unique gifts a priority. Make I would even say like self-love like a priority for sure. There's definitely something here about like focusing like on your unique gifts. We'll see what comes through money, finances, and career, but usually your unique gifts are the doorway to more abundance and prosperity. Focus on your unique gifts. I don't know if I could say if I try to explain even more, I think I'm going to get more confusing. Okay, what do we need to reflect on? Great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. What a wonderful reflect card to get. Okay, so basically everything in life is happening to you. For you, not to you. So this is basically saying learn from those spiritual experiences, right? Learn from those experiences that have happened to you, whether it's the last few years, last few months, last few days, last few weeks, whatever it actually is. The things that happen to us are our greatest teachers. Our experiences are our greatest teachers. So really just reflect on that. It's pretty broad, but that's what Spirit is asking of us to do. And if you haven't connected the dots quite yet, it's definitely time to do so. All right, responsibilities. Yeah, and I just want to add one more thing that you might be getting. I know this is like more of like an, sometimes they say it's like for journal prompts, but you might organically connect the dots, meaning like understanding why the things that have happened to you have had to happen to you and like that kind of thing. Okay, responsibilities, a leg up. Okay, so this is advantageous energy. So this means like you have an advantage, you have a leg up, you have a better chance at something. So your responsibilities are to take advantage of the advantage. Okay, so basically it's saying like if you're responsible, if somebody has, what am I trying to say, guys? Sorry. What I'm trying to say is if you have an opportunity, that's what I'm looking for. If you have an opportunity to take advantage of something, go ahead and do so. That's your responsibility. Do not let it pass you by. I definitely do feel like some of you guys, it's a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity that's not going to come around again. That's why it's saying this is the advantage right now. And advantage also too means like it's divine timing, right? It's basically saying like this is the right time to do so, right? Take advantage of this time. So I love that. All right, money, finances, and career. We have mother, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. Okay, so this is about giving birth to life, giving birth to something, mothering something, nurturing something. So it's under money, finances, and career. So This could fare well for anybody that's like more in this archetype for work, like being a nanny, being a babysitter, being a doula, like things like that. Like that is, if anything, a caregiver. If you're in a nurturing profession, I definitely feel like you'll experience some abundance this week for sure. But this also means like nurturing, maybe your finances, taking care of them, meaning like, if you have extra money, is it being invested? If none of these things so far that I mentioned is resonating, if you're like in another complete, job or whatever, this might mother could be giving birth to life. Maybe it's being more creative at work. It could definitely manifest that way as well. Giving birth to a new idea, that kind of thing. So definitely feels like a creative and innovative work week for sure. But yeah, it could also fare well for people that are in more, like I said, nurturing or maternal type gigs. Okay, what do we have as a surprise here? Lord, take charge with authority. Okay, so taking charge and having authority with that, meaning like your people look at you, as an authority figure or something like that. So surprise, you might get a leadership position. You might find yourself in charge of something that maybe you don't even want to be in charge of, but it comes out of nowhere. Maybe, you didn't really want to be involved in your child's after school activities, but one of the moms got sick and you have to take over for something. I don't know. It's like unexpected having to step up. You're going to have to step up in some way, shape, or form that you weren't necessarily planning on doing, but people respect you for it. People, there's a reason why people want you to step up though, because they look at you in a positive way. Like I'm getting really positive vibes here. Like, but I'm definitely getting like, maybe you didn't necessarily want to, or feel like the timing was right or something like that. But yeah, I definitely do feel like you stepping up in some way, shape, or form, and it being a positive thing, even if you're maybe reluctant to do so. Okay, we have friends, we have peace. Okay, pretty straightforward. Things feel pretty peaceful in our friend group, which is great. I would actually connect that to soulmates. We're, action needed basically to make things a little bit more harmonious and peaceful. And then basically our community, our friends is peaceful. Okay, so obviously you're doing so, but definitely I feel like you've gotten a lot more peace with the people around you. So it doubles down really on what I said earlier about if you have more difficult relationships in your life, that this would definitely be a time to really work on that and mending, right? But I definitely, this is, no brainer here. This month definitely is heavy on the relationships and mending relationships and making relationships flow a little bit better for us. And I love that. And making them more peaceful for you. Who doesn't want more peace? Okay, romantic connection, upside down, visionary, selling insights to highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Okay, this is about having a vision for something, but kind of dumbing it down, or not sharing with people because maybe they're being judgmental or not feeling comfortable or safe to share. So this means that maybe you have like a vision for maybe your relationship, but in some way, shape, or form, it is just not coming to fruition. Or because it's under romantic connection in a partnership, the other person does not necessarily see it that way. So basically this is kind of saying like seeing things not on the same page. So guys, this is so heavy on relationships. I definitely know what I'm titling this video for sure. But yeah, so it means it could definitely possibly be if you're seeing somebody or, you're in a relationship for a long time, you're discovering that you and your partner do not see eye to eye on certain things, where you have a vision for the relationship or vision for your life that doesn't necessarily match the other person. Kind of big stuff going on here, but there definitely feels like there might be some compromising that has to go on here. Like it's not necessarily leading you to breakup town or anything like that, but it definitely does feel like it's not you guys are just not on it's just about not being on the same page. And again, I want to point to soulmates, right? So work on it, right? It says again, it's in the action needed slot, so it means you have to actually work on it. Could you get on the same page? Maybe, maybe. But again, I definitely feel it's more so of a compromise, but there's something here where maybe you're finally figuring it out, or it comes to a head that you just do not have the same vision for your life as your partner. All right, what's important? Lots of things are important, but let's see what we got here. Oracle, wait for important information. Important twice there. Okay, so this is about not being hasty, not making decisions just to make decisions. Think about them, have patience, like that kind of thing. So don't make any, it's important not to make any sudden moves. It's important not to make any sudden decisions, that kind of thing. So wait for all the information to come through. Sleeping on it is definitely a-okay this month. So yeah, no hasty decisions, please, is what Spirit is saying. All right, health and wellness, we have time for a nap. Okay, so this is about taking a break. This could also mean, like, because it's under health and wellness, this could be actually taking a nap. That's for wellness, right? Maybe including naps. I know it's summertime and it's really hot. Guys, I don't know about you, but the sun just makes me really tired, so I love naps. You know, I can nap now. I used to not be able to nap for a long time, but yeah, I love me a good nap. So this is about pausing, taking a break, giving yourself, the self-care that you need. I mentioned that here with the focus, right? Potentially self-care going on here. Self-love, self-care. So definitely give yourself a break. Don't overwork yourself. Give yourself a nap if you need it. Take a break if you need it. Take a time out, whatever it actually is. Whatever journey you're on, whether it's a physical, whether it's a mental, whether it's a spiritual. Take a break. All right, an overall outcome, we have beggar, confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. Okay, so this is about it's in the light. So basically it's saying, taking control of your life. Empowerment's in here. So definitely feeling empowered about being beyond survival mode, which I think is actually a really great thing. And it's wonderful to kind of end with that, going back to kind of like circles itself around with the spring, right? Where spring is basically saying like, you're kind of getting out of survival mode here, so you can start like planting the seeds and getting ready for what's to come, like that kind of thing. And you definitely need to be doing that this month. But yeah, this is basically saying like you're out of survival mode. You don't necessarily have to be like dependent so much on certain things anymore. So you're getting out of like a dependent type mode, getting more into an interdependent or independent type vibe. You're feeling more empowered, especially when it comes to things that are in your basic level of survival, right? Like food, water, and money is included in here, right? So that might mean that things might be looking a little bit more abundant or prosperous in your life. I will put that here, for sure. So, I'm loving it, right? We're coming out of that survival mode. That's what it feels like. And I really love it. And it really connects that first card really well. Guys, I think it looks like a great month going on here. Like I said, definitely there's a focus here, pretty undeniable about relationships, making them a little bit more smoother and more harmonious. And there's some compromise going on. There's some mending of the relationships going on. But overall, I don't really see anything that would be like a red flag. The only thing is just be careful not to, forget the details. Like pay attention to all the details as much as you can. Like I said, it's under issues, so we might have issues there. And then also too, under the challenge, we have the not feeling supported, that kind of thing. So some of that energy is going to feel a little funky, but nothing that we can't handle, right? So yeah, guys, I love this month. Looking good. So guys, thank you for being here. And like I said in the beginning, please like the video, please share it. Check it out, the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, end of month, and yeah, comments down below. Thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye.